Hi there, it's Bryce and Colette Schaefer here with another episode of Bringing Hope Home, where today we're going to be starting once again talking about our words.
Yeah, that's right. If you can watch the one from last week, we began our study talking about the importance of our words and why it's so important to talk about this and to learn about it.
Yeah, because we have so much to say in a day. Like I said last time, we say about 1,600 words a day.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of things that are flying out of our mouth.
Some more than others.
Well, I would say so. And it does say to be wise and quiet at times. And I think if we probably limited a little bit more, we'd be better off.
So how about with us? Who talks more?
I don't know who would talk more. I'm a talker when I get going.
And I'm kind of more quiet.
Yeah,
So
we're pretty equal. That study from Arizona found that men and women were equal in their amount of time. And I think that's what we've grown over time with social media and the way of the world. Now we have to communicate. So words matter.
Words matter.
They certainly do. And we pick up right in our primary verse, which is Proverbs 18:21. And I want to read it out of the New Living Translation this time. And it says, "The tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap its consequences." Those who love to talk. Yeah.
I think we all know those people that just like to hear themselves talk.
That's right. And they will certainly talk to a fence post, and they'll certainly just talk. And they know how to smooth their way into areas. They know how to get what they want. And other times it sets things ablaze, like we were talking about last time. But it's so important to realize that the tongue can bring life or death. What you say matters. And it's interesting to think about that I have power through my words. Because a lot of times, whether we're young or we're in a position in our job where we're kind of feeling trapped, we aren't the boss, and we think what we're going to do doesn't matter. But it does matter, because your words are going to be an outlet to your attitude. It's an outlet of what your perception is. Your words are also a direction for your actions to go. And along with that, the spiritual then attaches itself to what you're saying and brings life or death.
Yep.
And
as we looked last time in Hebrews 11, how God framed the world with his words. And we also frame our world with our words. If you want to see what your words have been producing, take a look at your world.
Yeah, your life.
Your life. And sometimes that's, we don't want to really do that, but it's good to take a little audit of our words and what's going on, how we have slipped up and just, said things.
Right, I think we should. I think using, looking at our words and our world is important. It says in James chapter 1 to look as the word is a mirror for our life. And we shouldn't go away from it and forget. Yeah. We should stay in the word, know what it says, apply it to our life, and then we're not just a mirror or a hearer only, we're a doer, and we see it come to pass.
We're transformed.
Yes, we're transformed into his image, and we start that by reading the word and exercising that in our life, putting traction to those words that he has over us.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really important for us. Let's go back into James where we left off last time. And in James chapter 3, all of 1 through 12 talks about our words. And we're going to just talk about, and starting in verse 2 and 3 this time. And we were, looking at 5, that it is a little member that boasts great things. We all know people that just can talk a mile a minute. We know lots of people that talk and are a little boastful and prideful, and then you say, well, I can't wait till they put their money where their mouth is. But at the same time, it's good to have confidence in yourself, but understand what you say matters. And it's impactful, and then you need to gauge the situation around you on how you're going to bring your words into the situation. It says, verse 2, for we all stumble in many things. If anyone does not stumble in word, he is a perfect man, able to also bridle the whole body. Now, the only one that we know was perfect was Jesus. So all of his words were perfect because they were after God. They were with God in mind, and God approved of everything that he said because he was thinking of God before he said anything.
Another way of looking at that word perfect is mature.
Yeah.
So, and that's what the Greek here means, is to reach maturity. So he is a mature man, able also to bridle the whole body. And if you look at people that are really mature and are really even successful, they're usually people that can guard their tongue. I remember being around a gentleman, I can't remember what, I believe he was higher up in a banking. Anyway, I got a chance to get to know him. And what I noticed was he really kept his tongue. He wasn't feeling good. I remember it was at this camp thing I had met him. He wasn't feeling good. He didn't sleep very good and all of these things. And I could kind of tell he was tired, but not one complaint came out of his mouth. He looked at ways to build others up. And that really struck me that he was mature in his career, but as a person, and so, yeah, it's a mark of maturity if you can hold your tongue.
Right, and then that affects everything, is what really that means to me. It says that it bridle the whole body. It affects every part of who you are, and it shows that you can control everything about you. But it also goes on in verse 3, it says, indeed, we put bits in horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn their whole body. Look also at ships. Although they are large and are driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder wherever the pilot desires. They're equating that to our words, and the navigation, the framing that we can do starts with our tongue. It starts with the words that we say.
And really, it begins on what you're looking at, right? A lot of times they put blinders on horses to keep them focused, first of all, in the direction. So really, your eyes and your mouth are working together. What are you looking at? Right. Are you just looking at the negative? Are you seeing, are you more pessimistic? Or are you looking at the word? Are you looking at positive things? And then lining your words up with those.
Yeah, it definitely is. It says that bridle, that's where we look somewhere, we want the horse to go there, so we pull the horse's head a certain direction to get it to go in that direction. Yeah. And that's exactly what our words do. They pull us in a direction. And so we want to have those words that are impactful and purposeful in our life to bring about God desires, because I believe that's what we all want, our success. It says, my favorite verse, and I just lost it, but Jeremiah. What is it? Jeremiah, there we go. I had all these other verses in my head. Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you, success, hope, and a future. So if we have God's vision about us,
we're going to speak those
We're going to speak those things and get our life to turn in that direction.
Yeah, you can't expect, God has great plans for you, but if you're speaking everything contrary to those plans, right, you're not going to end up getting it. He can have all the plans
you want,
counterproductive, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You got to line up your words too.
Right, because you have the most power over your life. It's not just God working, it's not just the devil working, it's not just your situation working. It has a lot to do with you, and it starts with your perception, what you're looking at, and what you're speaking then about your situation. Let's go to one more spot today, and let's go to Matthew chapter 12. Matthew 12, we'll start in verse 33, but it really goes down to verse 37. But it says, either make a tree good and its fruit good, or else make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For a tree is known by its fruit. Brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart brings forth good things, and the evil man out of the evil treasures bring forth evil things. But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account on the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. You know, and I like that it's, the tree is known by its fruit. You are known by the words you speak, because your words speak life or death into your world, what you are framing and how you are perceiving that situation. Well, my church, it's terrible. They don't ever do anything right. Well, that again, that's out of the heart perspective that you're bringing to it, and you're not probably trying to provide anything for it. You're just complaining. You know, well, my job is just a dead-end job. Well, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at being stuck. You know, so what you're saying is the fruit of what you're believing and where your heart is in that instance. And it says, by your words you will be justified. It'll tell you where you're at. It paints a picture of your heart and your attitude and mind, and then ultimately where you're focused and where you're headed in life. So it's so important that you know that about who you are with your words.
So, you know, we said you got to have your focus, your eyes. Here's talking about your heart. You know, when you put the word in your heart, and then all of those is what you speak, you know, going together. So, yep, it's so important. And we're going to continue talking about this. You know, the title of our podcast or our show here is Bringing Hope Home. Right. And one of the best ways to bring hope home in your life is to turn your words around and start speaking what God has for you to speak. Start speaking this truth, no matter what your circumstances are saying. Your circumstances might be saying that you're sick or you don't have enough to meet your needs. Well, dig into the Word and see what God has to say about those situations. Right. We have resources to help you with that. So we have the Renew e-magazine. It's a digital download. You can download it for free, or you can make a donation. And what that is just verses and then confessions. So we did the work for you.
That's right.
Of how you can apply the Word to speak it out in your life. So get that resource, and then also make sure you go to Schaefer Ministries every day for our daily devotion.
Just start it so you can get there quickly.
So it's right there in the morning. You can go there, and
we all go to our phones, so you might as well go to something positive.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in today, and just remember to bring hope home to your life today.